Hello and welcome to the mid-year, what is it called? Mid-year book tag, where I touch base with you and do this tag. So I've put the questions down below if you wanted to have a look and do it yourself. So the first question is, what has been the best book that I have read this year so far? And that would be Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. So this is a love story with two wonderful human beings, really just good people, and I absolutely adored it. It's a contemporary romance about two doctors who seem to be rivals for the same promotion, and they get off to a rocky start, but then through a series of letter exchanges come to know each other and fall in love. So I absolutely love this book and gave it 5 stars. What is the best sequel that I have read this year? Okay, so surprisingly, it's a graphic novel sequel and it's Lightfall, Shadow of the Bird. So I found these middle grade graphic novel books absolutely endearing. The illustrations are gorgeous and the story is interesting and the characters are fantastic. And I liked the sequel just as much as the first. So that has been my favorite sequel thus far. The next question is, what is a new release you have not read yet? And for me, that is A House with Good Bones. And I came across this author last year. After reading Nettle and Bone, they became an instant favorite, and I've been making my way through their catalogue, and A House with Good Bones was going to be their new book this year. So it has come out now. I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but it's on the agenda, even though it is a horror. So my expectations are low, but I do want to read it. The next question is your most anticipated release for this year that has yet to come out, and that is A Secret Society of Tea and Treason. It's the third in a series. So far, I have found the series really sweet, cute, endearing, a bit of fluff, a bit of a fun time in a world where witches and pirates don't like each other. I know that this third one, though, is meant to be about secret agents who I think are trying to infiltrate the pirate and witches societies. So I'm still invested in the series and I'm looking forward to the third installment. My biggest disappointment this year, it is definitely Some Desperate Glory. That killed me because it was a beautiful edition and it sounded like a wonderful queer space opera, and it was just a bad time. I read 300 pages before I decided to DNF. I couldn't take it anymore. It was just heavy on the misogyny, sexism, xenophobia, bullying. It was just a smorgasbord of horrible things going on. And the main character was also instigating some of these things, thanks to some cult-like brainwashing. But yeah, it was not for me. So that was very, very disappointing. The biggest surprise for me this year was I Who Have Never Known Men. This just blew me away. This is a translated work, which normally doesn't hit with me. I find the writing very cold and clinical and detached, but somehow I guess it works with this story. It's about a woman who is a child and she wakes up and finds herself in a cage with 39 other women. They don't even know if they're still on Earth. The guards that patrol do not speak to them. They don't know why they're there or what's happening. And then one day something happens and it's just wonderful. Really, it was something that will stick with me and I'll remember forever. It's a really unique story. And even though not a lot was happening, it was just a wonderful story about human endurance and resilience. And yeah, I loved it. It was hauntingly beautiful. A new author to me this year was Abby Jimenez. So I have now decided that she's my favorite contemporary romance author. I've read 2 of her works and loved both of them dearly. So I will continue to read whatever she puts out. But yeah, she's now become my favorite contemporary romance author. A new fictional crush. So for me, that has to be Jacob from Yours Truly. He is a cinnamon roll and I love him. Like I said, he's an amazing person. He's the kind of person that decided to give part of his kidney, I believe, or liver, perhaps it was liver, to a stranger that he doesn't know because he turned out to be a match. Not many people would do that. He does. He is amazing. He does suffer with social anxiety, which is cool because it's something that I also have. And I just loved everything that he did and the way that he showed up for the people that he cared about. An exemplary human being and really goals, you know. Does a human being like that exist? Please deliver them to me, thank you. Favorite character. So I picked 2 from the same book because they're a pair, and that is Wilhelmina and Simon from A Matter of Temptation, which is a historical romance. And I love both of these cuties. They were the best, and not only were they amazing on their own, they were even more amazing together as a dynamic duo. So these characters, adore them, and I love that book. It's another 5-star book, so that's my choice for my favorite characters from this year. A book that made me cry. It is Love and Other Words. I did not like the book, but something is revealed at the end that has happened, an event, and I started crying immediately, and I even teared up when I was talking about what had happened and the injustice of it and how much it upset me, and it's the reason why I dropped my rating so much, because when it came to light, I was so enraged and I was no longer backing the couple. I felt like it was an unforgivable thing and something I would not be able to move on from with that person, because it would remind me of this particular loss. So I did cry, actual tears. A book that made me happy, Magic of Mushrooms. I love shrooms, guys. They delivered me from the prison of my own mind, and I will be forever grateful from them unshackling me from my trauma and depression and suicidal ideations. So mushrooms saved my life. And this book is a beautiful tribute to mushrooms in all of their iterations in this world. So this book is really well done. The illustrations are gorgeous. It does cover a breadth of topics involving fungi, but it doesn't go deep into them. But it's just, like I said, it was fascinating. So it looks at mushrooms in folklore, as medicine, as poison, as their purpose in the sort of infrastructure of the earth and life cycles. And it's a fantastic book. And I bought a hard copy so that I had it to keep, because I was just astounded by its beauty. The next question is, what is the most beautiful book you own? Guys, it's Some Desperate Glory. So this is an Illumicrate edition. I just love it for the galaxy sprayed edges alone, but it is beautiful on the inside too. So I just started an Illumicrate subscription, and I only have 2 books thus far, and out of the 2, this one is my favorite, and that's also why it was one of my most disappointing reads, because I have a physical copy and it is stunning, but I hate the book. So that is why it was also the most disappointing, because I had such high hopes for this one, and I was like in a dilemma of what to do with this edition. I was like, I can't gift it to someone because I don't like it. I can't give this awfulness to someone else to put them through it. But my daughter just likes the way it looks, aesthetics, guys, and she's happy just to have it sitting on her bookshelf. So that's what I've done with it. Okay, and the next question is books that I want to read by the end of the year. So for me, the only ones that I definitely want to read this year are the ones that I put on my 23 most anticipated reads for 2023. And there's only 2 left. So I've read almost all of them. I will do a video about that soon once I've read them all. But the 2 that are left for me to read, besides A House of Good Bones, is Unfamiliar, which is a graphic novel. I'm still waiting for that to come into my library, as that was a request that I asked for them to purchase. So those normally take quite a while. So I need to still read that one. And also Rising Dawn, which is the 4th in a series that I am enjoying. So those are the 2 that are left that I have to read this year. Obviously, I just like to read whatever comes my way, and I've got plenty of books on my TBR, but those 2 were left on my most anticipated reads. So that's everything for my mid-year book tag. I hope that wherever you are having a stunning morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, stay wild, Star Child.